Newly unsealed surveillance video shows reggae star Buju Banton and undercover officers with a brick of cocaine at a Sarasota hotel.
After many years, Buju's former manager has finally broken his silence. He claims to know exactly why Buju ended up in prison for those 8 long years. His words are heavy, hinting at betrayal, politics, and choices made in the shadows. For the first time, the story behind the reggae icon's fall might not come from rumor or speculation, but from someone who was there when it all began. Stay tuned as we unveil all the details. From Kingston streets to global stages, Buju Banton was born in Kingston, Jamaica, in a community along Barbican Road in Kingston 8. His mother lovingly called him Buju when he was a child, a name that stayed with him for life. Banton, a Jamaican term used to describe a respected storyteller, was a title he chose for himself in honor of Buju Banton, a DJ he deeply admired as a child. As a young boy, Buju copied Buju's rough, powerful voice until he shaped his own unique sound. His mother worked as a street vendor, known locally as a higgler, and his father earned a living as a laborer in a tile factory. Buju was the youngest of 15 children, born into a family that traced its roots directly to the Maroons of Jamaica, proud descendants of freedom fighters. In August 2024, Buju shared that he had traced his ancestry to the Igbo people, an ethnic group in Nigeria. Singer Sean Kingston has claimed that Buju is his uncle, though that story has yet to be confirmed. As a boy, Buju Banton spent countless nights watching his favorite artists perform at outdoor shows and bustling dance halls in Denham Town. The rhythm, the crowd, and the energy of the music pulled him in. By the time he was 12, he couldn't just watch anymore. He grabbed the microphone and began performing under the name Gargamel, building his confidence with the Sweet Love and Rambo Mango sound systems. In 1986, fellow DJ Clement Irie introduced him to producer Robert French, and not long after, his first single, The Ruler, hit the airwaves in 1987. That moment opened the door to collaborations with some of Jamaica's most respected producers, Patrick Roberts, Bunny Lee, Winston Riley, and Digital B. In 1991, Buju Banton joined Donovan Germain's Penthouse Records and began a powerful creative partnership with producer Dave Kelly, who would later go on to start his own label, Madhouse Records. Buju quickly became one of the most celebrated artists in Jamaican history. By 1992, his songs Bogle and Love Me Browning were topping charts and playing everywhere on the island. However, Love Me Browning sparked controversy. In the song, Buju sang about his love for lighter-skinned women. Me love my car, me love my bike, me love me money and ting, but most of all, me love me browning. Some listeners felt he was overlooking the beauty of darker-skinned women. Buju responded swiftly with Love Black Woman, a heartfelt track that celebrated women of deeper complexion. Me new stop cry, fee all black women, respect all the girls dem with dark complexion. That same year, Buju's voice could be heard everywhere in Jamaica. 1992 became his defining moment. It was the year he broke Bob Marley's record for the most #1 singles in a single year. His debut album, Mr. Mention, captured the spirit of that era, packed with hits like Bonafide Love, a collaboration with singer Wayne Wonder. Wonder was the same artist who first brought Buju on stage at Jamaica's legendary Sting concert. In 1992, an old track called Boom Bye Bye was re-released without permission. The song had been recorded several years earlier, in 1988, when Buju Banton was just 15 years old. Its return sparked a backlash that threatened to derail his career. Years later, the song caused outrage in the United States and Europe. Banton was dropped from the lineup at the WOMAD Festival and lost many other scheduled performances. In response, he issued a public apology. By 1993, Buju Banton had moved to the major label Mercury and Polygram, marking a new chapter in his journey. His first release with them, Voice of Jamaica, hit hard with meaning. This album carried a message. It was about awareness, responsibility, and truth. Tracks like Deportees called out Jamaicans living abroad who had forgotten to support their families back home. Another standout, Tribal War, brought together Tony Rebel, Brian and Tony Gold, and Terry Ganzi in a powerful cry against political violence. The song reimagined Little Roy's reggae classic of the same name, but Buju's version carried the weight of the times. Some of Buju Banton's early lyrics carried violent themes, something he later explained as a reflection of the world young Jamaicans saw every day in the news. The harsh reality of Kingston streets hit close to home in 1993, when three of his close friends and fellow artists, DJs Panhead and Dirtsman, and singer Mickey Simpson, were murdered in separate incidents. Buju's response was deeply personal. He released Murderer, a song that stood firmly against gun violence and challenged the direction dancehall music had been taking. The message was so powerful that several clubs began removing songs with violent lyrics from their playlists. Late in 1994, Buju faced another painful loss with the death of his friend Garnett Silk, a singer known for his spiritual depth. That moment marked a turning point. Buju embraced the Rastafari faith, began growing his dreadlocks, and let that spiritual awakening shape both his music and his message. His performances grew more heartfelt, and his concerts across Europe and Japan drew massive crowds. Till Shiloh, released in 1995, was a groundbreaking album. Buju Banton blended live instruments with digital rhythms, mixing the soulful sounds of roots reggae with the harder dancehall style that first made him famous. The album reflected his embrace of the Rastafari faith. It combined conscious lyrics with a strong, energetic dancehall vibe. It included earlier singles like Murderer, as well as new tracks such as Wanna Be Loved and Untold Stories. In 1996, Banton teamed up with Los Pericos to contribute Wanna Be Loved, Desea Ser Amado to the Red Hot organization's album Silencio, equal to Muerte, Red Hot plus Latin. This album was part of a benefit series raising money and awareness for AIDS. That same year, Buju Banton took control of his career by starting his own label, Gargamel Music. He released the popular single Love Sponge on vinyl in Jamaica and abroad. Over the years, Gargamel grew into a platform for his own productions, giving him full creative control and a space to share his music with the world. By 1997, Buju Banton had reached another milestone with the release of Inna Heights. This album opened him up to a wider international audience and revealed a new side of his artistry. Buju began to explore his singing voice more deeply, blending it with rich rhythms inspired by his roots. Songs like Destiny and Hills and Valleys became instant favorites, tracks that carried messages of hope and perseverance. The album also featured collaborations with some of reggae's finest voices, including Barris Hammond and the legendary Toots Hibbert. Fans embraced the project, and critics praised Buju's emotional range and soaring vocals. More than 2 decades later, Inna Heights is still celebrated as one of his most enduring works. The following year, in 1998, Buju crossed genres and linked up with the American punk band Rancid. Together, they recorded 3 songs: No More Misty Days, Hooligans, and Life Won't Wait, the last of which became the title track of Rancid's 1998 album. As the new century arrived, Buju continued to evolve. In 2000, he signed with Anti Records, a branch of Brett Gurewitz's Epitaph Records, and released Unchained Spirit. This album showcased Buju's versatility, weaving together different musical styles and featuring collaborations with Luciano, Morgan Heritage, Stephen Marley, and Rancid. While it moved away from the heavy root sound of Till Shiloh and the hardcore dancehall that had first made him famous, Unchained Spirit showed that Buju was never afraid to grow, experiment, and speak his truth through music. In March 2003, Banton released Friends for Life. The album included sharply political songs like Mr. Nine, an anti-gun track that became a hit in Jamaica's dance halls and internationally. It focused on messages about the African diaspora and included excerpts from a speech by Marcus Garvey. The album also featured Paid Not Played, which marked a slow return to themes popular in dancehall. Some songs included hip-hop influence, such as the collaboration with rapper Fat Joe, blending genres while keeping his voice and message central. In 2006, Buju Banton released Too Bad, an album with a stronger dancehall sound. One of the slower tracks, Driver A, became a major hit and helped revive Sly and Robbie's Taxi, Redeem. In 2007, he performed at the Cricket World Cup opening ceremony alongside Third World and Barris Hammond. In 2009, Banton released Rasta Got Soul. He produced the album himself, with help from longtime collaborators Donovan Germain, Stephen Marsden, and Wyclef Jean. The album was pure roots reggae and had been recorded over a 7-year period. Rasta Got Soul earned him his 4th Grammy nomination for Best Reggae Album in 2010, solidifying his place as a leading voice in the genre. The Fall, Arrest, and Accusations. In December 2009, Buju Banton's world changed overnight. Agents from the Drug Enforcement Administration took him into custody in Miami, where he was charged by the United States Attorney with conspiracy to distribute and possession of more than 5 kilograms of cocaine. After his arrest, Buju was transferred to the Pinellas County Jail, where he remained while awaiting trial. The case went before a court in Tampa, Florida, and after 6 tense days of testimony, the trial ended on the 27th of September, 2010 in a mistrial. The jury simply could not reach a unanimous verdict. During the proceedings, prosecutors played audio recordings of conversations between Buju and a man described as a former drug dealer who had become a government informant. The tapes captured talk about drugs, prices, and smuggling. There was also video footage showing Buju meeting the informant inside a police-controlled warehouse, where he appeared to taste cocaine from a small bag. However, the story beneath the surface was far more tangled and disturbing. At the center of the case was Alexander Johnson, a paid informant for the U.S. government. Months before the arrest, Johnson met Buju on a flight from Madrid to Miami. What started as a casual conversation between strangers soon turned into an elaborate web of surveillance, phone taps, secret meetings, and a controversial sting operation. Johnson testified that Buju spoke freely about substance trafficking, about money moving between Venezuela and the Caribbean, and about potential suppliers. But Buju's defense told a very different story. They argued that the whole thing was a setup, a political chess game wrapped in wiretaps and whispers. Buju's lawyer, David Marcus, fought back hard. He argued that his client was lured into these conversations while intoxicated. It was all talk, never followed through on. Buju never invested $1, never touched a shipment, and never finalized a deal. Marcus claimed that Buju had been entrapped by a government informant who was only looking to get paid. Reports later revealed that the informant had been paid $50,000 for his role in the operation. In November of that same year, after months behind bars, Buju was finally released on bond, awaiting his fate as the world watched closely. Even as his legal troubles continued, Buju Banton's music could not be silenced. Between trials, he was allowed to perform one concert. On the 16th of January, 2011, he took the stage in Miami to a sold-out crowd, proving that his connection with fans remained unshaken. Just weeks after that performance, news came that he had been nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. Though he could not attend the ceremony, the recognition spoke volumes about the impact of his work. On the 13th of February 2011, one day before his second trial was set to begin in Tampa, Buju's Before the Dawn album was announced as the winner of Best Reggae Album at the 53rd Annual Grammy Awards. Even in the shadow of legal battles, his music continued to shine, earning accolades that cemented his legacy. On the 22nd of February 2011, Buju Banton was found guilty on several serious charges. He was convicted of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute 5 or more kilograms of cocaine, possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking offense, and using communication wires to facilitate a drug trafficking offense. He was acquitted of the charge of attempted possession of 5 kilograms or more of cocaine. 4 months later, Buju was sentenced to 10 years and 1 month in federal prison for the cocaine trafficking conviction. His sentencing for the firearms charge, despite never being found in possession of a gun, was originally set for the 30th of October, 2012. It was postponed at his lawyer's request while an investigation into possible juror misconduct took place. Even though a juror was later found guilty of misconduct, Buju waived his right to appeal. On the 14th of May, 2015, federal prosecutors agreed to drop the firearms charge, bringing some measure of closure to that part of his legal ordeal. For 8 long years, Buju Banton, the man whose voice once shook dance halls and inspired a generation, sat in prison. He carried a federal sentence of 10 years and 1 month. That number drummed endlessly in his cell. Inside McRae Correctional Institution in Georgia, he found an unusual sanctuary. In solitude, he turned inward. He meditated. He read constantly. Philosophy, spirituality, history. Books became his bandmates. Time and space, he later said, became relative. You have to shield your mind, he explained years later. And as a man of hope and faith, I knew even in that hell, the world was still out there waiting. Even behind bars, the world outside had not forgotten him. In Jamaica, Buju's music became a symbol of resistance. His tracks, including Not an Easy Road, Untold Stories, and Destiny, played endlessly on radio stations. His name was whispered in prayers, painted on murals, and shouted in protests. Finally, on December 7th, 2018, after nearly a decade in chains, Buju Banton walked free. Soon after his release from prison, Buju Banton returned to Jamaica. A large crowd of fans waited for him at the airport. They cheered and shouted his name as he walked through the terminal. The excitement was palpable. For many, this was not just the return of a musician, but the homecoming of a national icon. Jamaica's culture minister, Olivia Babsey-Grange, spoke about the complex feelings surrounding Banton's release. She told The Guardian, "There's no getting over the fact that he was convicted, but Buju was loved long before he was convicted, and he will be loved just the same, even if he comes home in handcuffs." Her words captured the mixture of admiration and acknowledgement of his past struggles. Fans from all walks of life had gathered to show their support. Many held signs and banners, while others waved Jamaican flags. The scene resembled a festival, full of color and energy. The sense of relief and joy among the crowd was clear. People were happy to see Banton back on his home soil, safe and free. According to CNN, Banton did not waste any time celebrating. He headed straight to the recording studio after arriving in Jamaica. Music has always been at the center of his life, and returning to it was a natural step. The studio welcomed him with open arms, and he immediately began working on new material. For Banton, this moment was not just about freedom. It was about reconnecting with his passion and sharing it with the world. Banton's release did not go unnoticed by the global music community. Many artists took to social media to celebrate the news. Among them was a popular artist who shared his excitement online. "Today is a glorious day. Buju is free. Let's go. King shit. True greatness," he wrote. Messages of support and congratulations poured in from around the world, reflecting the deep respect Banton commands beyond Jamaica. The reaction to his release shows that Banton's influence extends far beyond music. He is regarded as a symbol of resilience and artistic excellence. His fans, both local and international, are eager to hear his new work and celebrate his return. For Banton, coming home marked the start of a new chapter, one filled with creativity, recognition, and continued love from his supporters. Starting his journey back to the stage. In December 2018, Banton began the Long Walk to Freedom tour. He performed his first concert at the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, in March 2019. The show drew more than 30,000 people. During his tour, he continued to release new music, including singles such as Baga Mouth, False Pretense, and Country for Sale. In May 2019, Banton released Country for Sale. The song shot to the top of the iTunes Reggae chart within minutes of its release. He recorded it at the Gargamel Music Studio, Donovan Germain's own recording space in the corporate area. On the 12th of November the same year, he released his first official music video, titled Trust. The video marked the first anniversary of Banton's release from prison. It was produced with Dave Kelly and directed by Kieran Kahn. The track reached #1 on the Billboard Reggae Digital Song Sales Chart. Banton announced his partnership with Jay-Z's Rock Nation in November of that year. He became the second Jamaican reggae artist to be represented by the agency. This announcement coincided with the release of his music video, Steppa. He also shared that Island Records would distribute the new music from the collaboration. In January 2020, Banton was featured on the Bad Boys for Life soundtrack, which DJ Khaled produced. His song, Murder She Wrote, paid tribute to the 1992 dancehall classic Murder She Wrote by the Jamaican reggae duo Chaka De Moose and Pliers. On the 29th of February 2020, Banton produced the Steppa's Rhythm under his own Gargamel music label. The Rhythm, released through Rock Nation, featured 11 tracks and included contributions from Vershawn, Deli Ranks, Agent Sasko, Bling Dog, and General B. On the 26th of June, 2020, Banton released his 13th studio album and his first in a decade, Upside Down 2020. The album features guest appearances from John Legend, Pharrell, Stefflon Don, and Stephen Marley. Banton also appeared on the track Believe What I Say by Kanye West from his 2021 album Donda. In 2021, Banton began a project releasing NFTs. Banton has teamed up with Crimson Tide Limited to create a collection of original NFT art pieces that will come in digital and autographed canvas pieces. He became one of the first Jamaican artists to release an NFT. He also appeared on DJ Khaled's album Khaled, featuring on the track Where You Come From, along with Capleton and Bounty Killer. In 2022, Banton was featured on DJ Khaled's album God Did. He appeared on the track These Streets Know My Name, along with Skillabang, Capleton, Bounty Killer, and Sizzla. Recently, Buju Banton has criticized reggaeton, a genre that blends Latin rhythms with influences from Jamaican dancehall and hip-hop. He has stated that the genre does not receive enough recognition for its Jamaican roots, and that there are few collaborations between reggaeton artists and Jamaican musicians. In the past, however, he collaborated with Puerto Rican reggaeton artist Tego Calderon on the song Bad Man. Controversial lyrics. His song Boom Bye Bye, originally recorded when he was 15 and later re-released in 1992 at the age of 19, contains lyrics depicting the murder of gay men. After the re-release, Banton issued a public apology following international backlash. In 2009, gay rights groups asked venues across the United States not to host Buju Banton. In 2007, Banton was reportedly among several reggae artists who signed a pledge called the Reggae Compassionate Act, created by the Stop Murder Music campaign. The pledge aimed to have artists refrain from performing homophobic songs or making homophobic statements. The act stated that the signers do not encourage nor minister to hate, but rather uphold a philosophy of love, respect, and understanding towards all human beings as the cornerstone of reggae music. It promised that the artists involved no longer believed in sexism, homophobia, or violence, and that they would not perform music that went against these beliefs on stage. Banton later denied having made such a commitment. However, he did refrain from performing Boom Bye Bye and other offensive songs at the 2007 Reggae Carafest concert. On March 20th, 2019, Banton and his team officially removed Boom Bye Bye from his catalog. They pulled the song from streaming platforms such as Apple Music and Spotify, and Banton announced that he would no longer perform it. He also issued a statement emphasizing the importance of tolerance and love. In a statement, he said, "I recognize that the song has caused much pain. I am determined to put this song behind me and continue moving forward, both as an artist and as a person. It was an act of accountability, growth, and courage. Because true freedom isn't just about walking out of prison, it's about who you choose to be once you're free." For nearly a decade, Buju Banton stayed silent. When he finally decided to speak, he did it with precision, clarity, and fire. The moment came in July 2020 during a raw and revealing interview on The Breakfast Club, the iconic US radio show hosted by DJ Envy, Angela Ye, and Charlemagne Thug God. This was Buju in his habitat. When Charlemagne asked, "Do you think you were targeted to be silenced?" the air in the studio shifted. Buju did not hesitate. He said calmly that a WikiLeaks report from 2006 claimed he and a group of armed men assaulted a homosexual man in Jamaica and got away scot-free. That was the furthest thing from the truth, he said. He went on to suggest that the false report was used to justify a politically motivated campaign to monitor, discredit, and ultimately remove him from public influence. He said that a Jamaican diplomatic attaché had been sent to the US Embassy in connection with the case, which put him on American law enforcement's radar years before any DRG sting happened. "All the great men you think of have to go through that persecution," Buju said. "Even Christ, they thought they were doing me bad, but my God is the greatest planner." It was more than a defense. He was not denying his mistakes, but he was showing how powerful voices, especially Black conscious voices from the global South, are often silenced not through confrontation, but through scandal, character attacks, and quiet suppression. He also addressed rumors about substance use. For years, whispers of cocaine use followed him, fueled by tabloid stories, social media, and even a post from his son, Marcus Marie, during a personal conflict, calling his father a cokehead. Buju confronted this openly. He said there are two ways to destroy a man. First, attack his character, label him a pedophile, and he is finished. Call him a cokehead, and no one will believe anything he says. He explained that these attacks were not just personal, they were political. They were meant to discredit truth-tellers before their truths could gain traction. He spoke about his son with sadness, not anger. 10 years in prison did affect my relationship with my children, he admitted. But time heals, and as a father, I have a duty to correct. One day, he will understand. That interview shifted the conversation. This sounded like a new Buju. Despite everything, he never lost his voice. During Buju Banton's time in prison, the world outside continued to move forward. His children grew up without their father's presence. One of them, Marcus Meyer, followed in his footsteps and became a musician. However, in March 2019, just before the highly anticipated Long Walk to Freedom's concert, Marcus shocked the public with a raw and bitter Instagram post. He accused his father of being a cokehead and hinted at a physical altercation, airing family tension for everyone to see. For a man already facing whispers of character attacks, this hit hardest because it came from blood. Buju could have responded with anger, but he chose restraint, a path that now defines him. "He pissed me off," Buju said, "and I cannot take any disrespect from him, but I have never disrespected my son." He acknowledged the rift, but did not deepen it. Instead, he reflected as a father, and as a man who had missed 10 years of his children's lives, years that no apology or song could ever replace. "The 10 years I spent in prison did affect my relationship with my children, but time helps heal wounds," he said. Later, Marcus quietly apologized, perhaps recognizing that his father, though flawed, had endured storms most could not imagine, and that healing comes from conversation, not blame. For Buju, this moment became a mirror. It reminded him that the greatest responsibility is not to the crowd, but to his children. The stage may fade, but fatherhood remains. As fathers, he said, we have to straighten our children out, because when they have their own, they will understand why we were so firm. It was never about pride, it was about legacy. Music may echo across continents, but character begins at home. Buju might have a criminal record, but most people still consider him a hero. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more celebrity news. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.